All right, let's do it. Let's teach on that old death card tonight. Let's have the fun about being a tarot reader is, watching newbies' faces when you throw out the death card. What's that mean? What's that? What's that mean right there? Easy. Yeah, it means they're bringing the cart. We all saw the movie. Bring out the dead. They got the cart. I'm not dead. Yeah, you'll be in a couple. Get on the cart. Yeah. It scares the but the cart's not coming, Mike. It's not. All right. I'm not dead. All right. So much fun with newbies and the death card. Yeah, I think that's the one that shakes them the most, because everybody understands that word, right? Not everybody understands the tower. They do understand the tower when they've been playing with tarot for a minute, and if you're playing tarot with somebody and you pull the death and the tower on them, they may panic a little bit. But I can't say that I haven't seen literal death come. And that's always freaky. That's always freaky geeky, because, you'd be telling them, "Oh, just relax." And shit, I've seen it come. It is a damn death card. So, if the death card shows up, you need to straighten out your ways. That's all I know, man. Yeah. I see right there, Michelle. Yeah, you pull that death card, you go, "Don't worry about it," and then you find out 2 days later, oh shit, oh damn it. Okay, I don't know if I want to tell anybody I predicted that. It does depend on what falls with it. Absolutely. I never tell anybody, "Oh, you're dead man walking." No. All right, let's do it. Death card number 13. Let's go. I always start with pictures around here. It's picture time with some of my favorite death cards that we got. And then we're going to do all signs tonight. With the majors, we're going to play with the dragons tonight. I like the dragons. They're cool. We'll play with the major arcana. Tarot the dragons, do all signs tonight, and all that kind of fun stuff. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's crack some books. Here we go. This is the death card from the Starman, David Bowie. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's got like a iris. I think that's what those flowers are called. This death character looks very interesting. Has a big hole in its head. I noticed that, but I like the arms stretched out. Kind of represents the justice card to me, even though there aren't any scales on here. It's about death. It's about birth. It's about transformation. It's all kinds of fun stuff with this deck. Doggone glare, man. Like the key right there, and the flowers. It's a very cool death card. This one is from Tarot Art Nouveau. It's got a lady for the death card right here, which is highly unusual. She got a bunch of skeletons on her dress. And there's a mask in her hand. She seems to be leaning on some kind of staff or something with a little face on it too. But that's the fun of tarot. You take the books and you take the picture and you put together a story. Very classic death card. This is the Universal Tarot, Grand Trump. It's very classic death card. River Sphinx, and it does, this is the sun in the death card, and traditionally this is to be rising. The sun is rising between the towers. Ultimately, that's why we shout, "Ooh, you pulled the death card." Yeah. Oh shit, here we go, man. let me see right here. This is the death card from the fairies. You know, it's about as deathy as fairies get. You know, it's a little death fairy right there. Got some bad mushrooms right there. Yeah, on a little bad trip maybe. It's got a moon behind it too. This is the death card from the Vertigo Tarot, old collectible DC Comics. It's got like the Eye of Horus on it, and there's some kind of rib cage or something. Definitely holding the flower, but it's interesting that the flower is blue. Traditionally, the flower that's on the death card is white, same color that's on the Fool card. This is the death card from the Bohemian Gothic, Bubba Studios. Dead man's bones right there. Interesting. This is the death card from, well, this deck, this Grand Trump right here. I'm not sure how to say this person's name, but I definitely like it. And this is a very cool death card, in my opinion. In my opinion, I mean, I'm not so much as I used to be back when I was younger, but back in my day, I wouldn't buy a tarot deck unless the death card was right. You know, I'm not so much like that anymore, but definitely a very cool death card right there. This is the Fantastic Miniaturette. Very cool death card. It's got the crane, and the crane has a robe on and a head, and got the foot right there on a frog. And you see other frogs. Let me get it up here. There's other frogs. They're like scattering. You got a little bug over here, you know, like run, run. Death has showed up, boy. That's a good one. This is Mythical Creatures. Gorgeous deck. Definitely. I mean, if you see this in a dark alley, you know, run. Don't be playing brave. Don't be playing brave. You just run, you know. And then when you get to where you're going and your friend shows up a couple minutes later, you can say, "What took you so long? It was time to scat," you know. Yeah. Get gone if something like this showing up. Okay. All right. This is from the Tarot Apocalyptus. It's a sister deck to Tarot Illuminati. And it's this is a deck. It's full of all kinds of religions from around the world, and this is definitely Santa Maria. Whenever I play with this mages, I don't like this card at all. I always go off, and there's too many candles and too many ookity bookity shit looking at me right there. And, too many ghouls and goblins and shit. Just it's a very interesting death card to say the least. This is from Tarot of Prague. Tarot of Prague actually came with 2 death cards. We don't love that. This is the first one right here from Tarot of Prague. I like this one right here because there's one human and old Skeletor family right there. And I always have fun with this. It's like, oh my God, how did I end up at this table, right? It is so time to get up and get away from this table of these boneheads. Yeah. Oh, that's a great death card. You can see that, well, transformation may not have happened yet, but this person is tired of those boneheads, that's for sure. This is another death card from Tarot of Prague. Now, when I get extra cards in my deck, you can either play with them. You can put both of them in your deck, or choose the one you want. Many times I play with an entire deck. If they send me an entire deck with all kinds of fun and fancy cards in there, many times I will play with them. And this is definitely a different picture of death right there. Definitely a huge transformational experience. Yeah, but old Skeletor just seems to be chilling in the midst of all of that. Very classic death card from the Visconti. It's in a museum somewhere. I bought a copy of it too. It's got the damn sickle. You know, these old death cards are like real, man. Bring out the cart. No wonder it scared the bajinkies out of them. Look at this picture, man. Bunch of heads, sickle, a Skeletor just swinging the sickle. Lord have mercy. No wonder it scares people. Yeah. Yeah. This is probably the scariest card in the tarot. This card scares so many people away from the tarot, but it's an inevitable part of life. I mean, is death. Probably my favorite death card is the Tarot Illuminati. It's got the Pale Rider, the big flag with the alchemical flower on it right there. That's the alchemical flower. The sunrise between the towers, the river of Styx. It actually has a boat right there with the river of Styx. And, you know, it always shows it trampling down the kings and the queens and the priests. And this death when it's coming, when change is coming. It is coming for you, man. It definitely is. My favorite one right there. And Tarot of Dragons, Death card. One Skeletor is still like up. There's a horse down. It's very interesting and gorgeous death card right there with that dragon. All right, some of my favorites, and we will pull all signs tonight with that and all kinds of fun stuff. All right, let's crack the books. You bring your journal? Anybody bring the journal? I brought mine. Let me get it. There we go. I brought my journal. The nice thing about this is you can always pause these and look at them at your own time, put your journals together and all that. People seem to be enjoying me putting out these teachings, which is good. I get a lot of comments and review or good reports on them. So I definitely need to do Hangman again because I messed up on last Saturdays. I'm going to be much more careful with my editing from now on. But let's take a look here at the death card. Let's crack the books. It's number 13. It's Scorpio. All right. I'm going to be teaching to one more picture. I definitely wanted to show you these. Got more pictures for the books, guys. One day I'll get professional. Until then, just deal with Mike. Yeah, there we go, right there. Cyril Marchetti's print right here of the death card. I'll set this up so we can look at it. This is all Cyril's artwork in the years over his many, many tarot decks. It's a gorgeous print. And really nice. Gotta love this guy. He changed tarot, in my opinion. And this is Shadowscapes. Again, one of my favorite death cards. It has, let me see right here, Cyril. Hang on a minute. It has the Phoenix. It's just gorgeous. It's just the Phoenix rising from its ashes. I think it's the modern day version of the death card, right? So it's entering into spirituality, death of the ego, whatever that transformational change is. This is a beautiful representation of a modern belief about what the death card is. So and when you pull this card out and it says death on it, newbies are a little little more mellow than they are with the guy with the sickle and the pile of heads. And so let's set this up here. Cyril Marchetti's artwork anyway. While we take a look and see what the books have to say. There we go. There we go. That's nice. Let's do it. As usual, I'm using the same books that I've used for years here. My journal. Come on, Cyril. What's going on around here? There we go. I'm going to try to keep him up right there. Yeah, I like it too, Wendy. I like that death card too. Definitely an amazing one with the Shadowscapes. But this is my journal. I'm going to teach out of that a little bit. A poem from Kim Huggins. This book of poems comes with a Tarot Illuminati kit. This poem is like, okay, it's definitely the death card talking. A nice description out of this book right here. I love it. I love it. This is Michelle Morgan, the Magical Course in Tarot. I love the descriptions in there. And then, of course, Tarot Fundamentals. Tarot Fundamentals. And we probably got, I don't know, I think I got at least 10 more. At least 10 more cards to do. So we'll be at this for a while still. I don't want it to get boring. We may stop in the middle of it and do some spreads and all that kind of fun stuff. I like to keep things changing up and all that. But I do want to finish this setup. And people have asked me, there's been so many people on YouTube that have put out teachings on the tarot but never completed them. That's because it's taken me 2 years so far to do this so far. So it does take a while. All right. So Tarot Fundamentals. I know a lot of you grabbed this book right here. And I would agree if you're a tarot enthusiast. Here we go. Let's do it. The Death card. Death is a universal symbol. The skeleton is the base structure of our bodies, the essence of life itself. In ancient times, this arcanum was held as a representation of the end of all. Damn it. A veil of darkness blotting out everything. Shit. Yeah. Death was the end of human vanity, the inevitable end of man. Damn it. Who was finally free to rise above the material concerns and turn to the spiritual world because of his immortal soul. Well, I'm so glad that we realized that we don't have to do a physical death to do that, to step into spirituality anymore, but back in the 1400s, man, they thought a lot differently than we do now. The Death card is now understood as the beginning. Everything new springs forth from an ending. It is not death in the literal sense, but in regards to change and evolution. Death is continually happening, though sometimes it is radical, unexpected, and unstoppable. The symbol separates what is frivolous from what is important, eternal, and true. Looking at the Death card, it is normal to sense a feeling of loss. This card destroys security and forces one to venture beyond. Fear arises from not being able to predict what comes next. Only by facing this fear directly and moving through it do we evolve. If we are sensitive and allow it, death offers the greatest gift. It teaches us how to live. When the death card speaks to you, it says, I stand behind you, in front of you, and next to you, watching you and those you love. I am the force you may fear, but will never deny. You can no more stop my bony fingers than stop the seasons from changing. I am the ending that brings all things new. Embrace me. Do not fear. Look me in the face and accept the consequences. It's easier if you do not struggle. Okay. Yeah, spoken true death card right there. Let's see what Michelle Morgan's book says as a description for the death card. Death symbolizes the experience of rebirth and renewal and the cycles inherent in all life. The plants turn in a slow orbit of seasons, the barren sleep of winter, always leading the earth into the warmth and reassurance of spring. The moon lives and dies and lives again, holding oceans and lovers captive by her spell. With this card comes an awareness of your own cycles of life and death, letting go of outmolded patterns of behavior and thought, the ending of relationships or experiences in order to create the space and energy essential for new expressions of life. That's nice. I like her descriptions in that book. All right, let's take a look. Traditional upright meanings, if they show up in your tarot spread, and in the upright traditional interpretations, an ending that brings a period of grief and loss, sudden change and disruption leading to new growth, uncomfortable revelation, gateway to another plane of existence, threshold to another reality, sudden and radical change, release. Let's see what I got right here in my book. Upright death card. Natural endings, progression towards a conclusion, bringing something to a closure, transformation, metaphorical death, letting go of a loved one, harvest, reaping of results, considerations of mortality, change that must be accepted, a change of state, a metamorphosis, one door closing and another opening. And let's see what Kim Huggins has to say for the death card in the upright. Kim Huggins calls this card, let me see right here, the sunset roads of metamorphosis. I think that's a great name. 13, the sunset roads of metamorphosis. Traditional meanings in the upright: transition and transformation, death in many forms, letting go of the old self, cutting away that which is no longer needed, slow decay. And that's a nice description of the death card in its own. because there is no new energy. We have to turn that old crap down into the soil of our life and let it decay down in there. And when it comes back up, and then we can put our rose garden in there, taking on new forms or ways of life, ushering in change. Yeah, change, sometimes quite suddenly. All right. Traditional meanings for the death card, if it shows up in the reverse on your thread, something needs to change. Putting off the inevitable, fear of the unknown. You need to become brave. You are avoiding the issue. Struck by fear. Let's see what I got right here for negatively aspected or reversed. Refusal to accept change, stagnation, failing to reap a harvest through refusal of knowledge of an ending, or failing to reap a harvest, refusal to acknowledge an ending, fear of change, unwanted change, issues of mortality, causing pain and suffering. Okay, all right. Let's take a look at a couple of keywords right here, and then I'm going to read Kim Huggins' poem. All right, here we go. And again, I mean, you can always hit your pause button if you want to put these in your journal. All these keywords right here. Kelly, thank you. So glad you guys are members around here. Appreciate everything you do. Thank you so very much. All right, here we go. Transition, metamorphosis, letting go, decay, stagnation, bare bones, sunset. I think we could use a little more mellow card for it. Isn't that a beautiful sunset? Endings, beginnings, change, transformation, transition. What we got here? Expiration, evolution, passage, progress, conclusion, regeneration, loss, release, mutation, cleaning, revolution, irreversible, threshold, radical, gateway to another world, fatality. it is on. It is on there. It is. I mean, no tarot reader. You pull that death card out. You may, and you do it a lot. You may find out that somebody They may go to the other side. They may. Anyway, nothing to fear, because we've all been to the other side before anyway, in my opinion. Here we go, man. Here we go. But we can't prove that. That's why I believe in reincarnation, all that fun stuff, but there's no proof. There really isn't. So go ahead and live this life like it may be your only one. Put yourself first, love yourself first, all that. All my friends of the nation. All right. Let's go. Kim Huggins' poem right here on the death card. This is like the death card speaking to us. And it's pretty deathy. The sunset, roads of metamorphosis, 13, death. When the river runs red as the sunset with the blood of the hero and the keening of the grieving mother wails across the land I shall ride triumphant. Then I will open my mysteries to you like the wings of the raven or the butterfly from the chrysalis. Know this and do not fear. Everything dies and nothing is destroyed. You stepped into this world under pain of death, and you are already dying. The hour of your death is unknown, but it is certain, and nobody is promised tomorrow. Sometimes I come as an enemy, sometimes as an opposing warrior, sometimes as a friend, and most often as a stranger. But do not fear, you've died 1,000 times already. Your parts rotted away long ago to allow new parts to grow. Your concept of self has died and been reborn as a phoenix from the ashes countless times. You have bid farewell to who you were before and what you knew, and then taken to walking the sunset roads that lead across the world to a new dawn. With every step, you're like the corn of the fields, ready for the sickle. With every breath, you are teaching your lungs the death rattle. Damn it. While in life, you are in death. I say it a third time and a final time. Do not fear. Remember, you must die, and the small deaths of your own life are preparation for that final nightfall when the shades of this world fall from your eyes and you have taken my hand as it reaches for you, joining me on the sunset roads. And again, my tarot friends that read for other people, that is the first thing that comes out of your mouth when the death card comes up is, don't be afraid of that card. Don't fear that card, man. So anyway, it's a death card. Enjoy it. Enjoy your transformation. Enjoy your life. Act like every day is a special day because it is, and all that fun stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I always enjoy sharing just a little something with you, and other people enjoy them too. And I like doing these live with you guys. I can feel your energy, and thank you so very much. All right.